So a $20 minimum wage has been established in California. Now, that may be ridiculous or it may not be, but for the workers that are working for poverty, such as in McDonald's or other small businesses that just struggling to get by that can barely afford the rent, I don't know if $20 an hour is really going to cut it. Because if you think about it, $20 an hour is the highest minimum wage in California. I mean, sorry, $20 is the highest minimum wage in the entire United States. But when we really think about what's a livable wage, we gotta think about the rents. So, how much would rent be? So, a lot of people are having problems with rent because they keep raising the rents. So, think about think about this. So, you're in an apartment and it costs $1,400 a month, and that's maybe including utilities or these other things that may have. And get this is not even expensive rent, but imagine if you're in New York City or California where your rent is like $1,800 to $2,200 for even a small room, a box to live in. See, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous if you're if but the thing is, like, when we think about a standard minimum wage, for say the minimum wage only really exists to be like a safeguard towards, maybe it's like a safeguard towards the business owners. Like, what happens if the business owners have their wages too low to, like, hey, I want all the profit and screw the little guy. Who cares if they're in poverty? Who cares if they're falling over on the streets or living in a box tent outside, or like a lot of the homeless people, especially in Philadelphia. There's a lot. There's some homeless people, but in California, it's a epidemic. It's an epidemic of homelessness in California, and to be honest, it's really sad. I think it's very sad, and it's completely ridiculous. We're United States. We're the wealthiest nation in the world. Why can't we figure this out? So the solution to a $20 minimum wage may not be just $20 an hour. It may be some bonuses, or you're giving some other stuff that may bring it up to more than $20 an hour, right? So let's say let's say you do the base minimum at $15 or $20 an hour, and then you give bonuses on top of it for more money, so the person can actually afford the rent. But on the other side of the equation, you got for say the landlords that may not be friendly to, like, they may be obviously only for profit, right? The landlords, even there's some good apples in the bunch, but most of the landlords may be bad apples, or maybe not. Like, if I was a landlord, I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna cut some breaks because rent is so expensive. But the thing is, if inflation is making everything else more expensive, and a cheeseburger or a Big Mac now costs $20 or $50, like when I go to 7-Eleven in Philly, in 7-Eleven, it's like $7 for just like some like normal food. Or like if you're grabbing a pizza and maybe a freezy icy, it's like $7. If you go to McDonald's, if you get like a McChicken and a iced coffee, it's like $5. And that's the lowest price you can possibly go. So thinking about all those different things, taking all those things into consideration, what I think is that the minimum wage, just like a couple other things in life, like college is a scam, may or not be a scam. I think you should go to college or whatever you're doing. But if you're thinking about the minimum wages and stuff like that, the living status needs to match up with the wages, or you're gonna have homeless people on the side of the street. I mean, that's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. And it's really something that I think the government should be maybe helping us out more of. Like, why is the government just standing by while we are all struggle? But obviously, we don't want socialism. We want capitalism at the end of the day. because capitalism is a thing that changes. It's basically this entire United States was built upon capitalism actually working. So if capitalism worked this far, why can't it work more? You know? So even though I'm not completely capitalist, but the minimum wages and stuff like that, that's like an easy thing to tackle, you know? I don't think it's like it's not like fucking rocket science to figure out what minimum wage we need in each different state. You basically just compare the living situation and like for car payment, insurance, gasoline, fuel, food. The thing is, it's different for everyone's scenario. So everyone's scenario may be different. So maybe you have a family, and a family of four or a family of five. You may need more money than the person that's a skill, rolling solo. So it all depends on in what situation you're actually in life. Because, or imagine you have like child support and all this other stuff that you may need to cover that's required of you. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to have more money extra to invest. You need to invest your money. Whether you invest in stocks, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, or whatever the fuck you like to invest in. I mean, it, at the end of the day, you're trying to grow your money, like having a business, a side business, maybe you're a social media influencer, or you want to become one. There's so many like cool things that you can become in life. I think like you can be an astronaut, you can be a rocket scientist, you can build architecture, you can do a lot of things in life. I really there's so many different things you can do that you shouldn't really limit yourself. But like the minimum wage, yet again, it's just a minimum. But what do you guys think about it? Leave some comments below and subscribe to my Patreon. And if you want to request a cameo, I reply I reply a video back or so, and you can message me if for a small price. And subscribe and share the video. And thanks for watching. Thanks.